You've probably felt it, that gnawing suspicion, that subtle sting of disappointment when someone you thought was in your corner reveals their true colors. It's a universal experience, a rite of passage almost, to encounter those who wear the mask of friendship but harbor something far less genuine beneath. In a world saturated with social connections, distinguishing authentic allies from deceptive imposters can be a minefield. But what if there were clear, undeniable signals? What if you could spot the red flags before your trust is shattered, before your vulnerability is exploited? Get ready, because we're about to expose the subtle, often insidious, behaviors that only fake friends exhibit. Here are 7 things only fake friends do. They're only there for the good times, and your resources. Fake friends are fair-weather companions, masters of selective presence. When the sun is shining on your parade. You've landed a promotion, found love, achieved a personal milestone, or simply have something they can benefit from, they're front and center, showering you with exaggerated praise and basking in your reflected glow. They'll be the first to congratulate you, the loudest to cheer, and the quickest to accept an invitation to celebrate. Their enthusiasm, however, is directly proportionate to the perceived benefit they can derive from your success or your current resources, financial, social, emotional connections, etc. But let the slightest cloud appear on your horizon, let alone a storm, and watch them vanish into thin air. A genuine friend will be there to offer a shoulder to cry on, a listening ear, or practical support when you're facing a crisis, a setback, or a personal struggle. A fake friend? They're nowhere to be found. Your struggles are inconvenient, messy, and offer them no immediate advantage. They might offer a superficial, "sorry to hear that," text, but concrete action or sustained empathy is absent. They see your difficulties not as an opportunity to support you, but as a potential drain on their own time or energy, which they'd rather invest in more beneficial relationships or activities. Their friendship is transactional, built on what they can extract, not what they can genuinely contribute or share. They constantly compete with you and secretly relish your failures. While a true friend celebrates your triumphs as if they were their own, a fake friend views your successes through a lens of bitter envy and competition. They cannot genuinely be happy for you, because your accomplishments dim their own perceived light. Their congratulations will often feel hollow, perhaps accompanied by a subtle backhanded compliment, "That's great you got that promotion, I hear they're really desperate though," or a swift redirection of the conversation back to themselves. The truly insidious aspect of this behavior is their secret delight in your setbacks. When you stumble, when your plans unravel, or when you face a disappointment, a fake friend will experience a perverse sense of satisfaction. They might feign sympathy, but beneath the surface, there's a smug sense of validation. See? They're not so perfect after all. They might even subtly probe for details of your difficulties, not to offer help, but to gather more information to fuel their internal narrative of superiority. They might also subtly exaggerate your failures when recounting them to others, or even spread rumors that undermine your reputation or efforts. Their goal isn't to see you thrive, but to maintain a perceived dominance or at least prevent you from outshining them. They talk about you behind your back, and often to others. This is perhaps one of the most blatant and painful indicators of a fake friend. A true friend defends your reputation and your character, especially when you're not around. They act as your advocate, respecting your trust and loyalty. A fake friend, however, sees your absence as an opportunity to engage in gossip, spread rumors, or reveal confidential information you've shared. They might criticize your choices, question your motives, or highlight your flaws to others, often framing it as just expressing concern or venting. The motivation for this behavior can vary: a desire for attention, a need to feel superior by diminishing you, or simply a lack of genuine respect. What makes it particularly damaging is the breach of trust. When you learn that someone you considered a friend has been speaking ill of you behind your back, it shatters the foundation of the relationship. It shows that their outward friendliness is a facade, and their true feelings are far from supportive. They might even try to turn others against you, isolating you and solidifying their own social standing at your expense. They never support your dreams or ambitions, and may even discourage you. Genuine friends are cheerleaders for your aspirations. They encourage you to pursue your passions, offer constructive feedback, and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. They believe in your potential and want to see you succeed. Fake friends, on the other hand, are often masters of subtle discouragement or outright negativity when it comes to your dreams. They might dismiss your ideas as unrealistic, too difficult, or not worth the effort. They might pepper you with what-if scenarios designed to instill doubt, or recount stories of others who failed. Are you sure you want to try that? It sounds really hard, or most people don't make it doing something like that. They might even subtly mock your efforts or make light of your ambitions. This behavior stems from several places: their own insecurity, a fear that your success will overshadow them, or a desire to keep you in a familiar, less threatening position relative to them. They don't want to see you grow beyond their control or their perceived status. Their lack of support isn't about protecting you, it's about protecting their own fragile ego. They only contact you when they need something. If your friends' communication patterns resemble a sporadic emergency beacon, only flashing when they require a favor, a ride, money, advice, a connection, or emotional validation, you're likely dealing with a fake friend. Their interactions are driven by self-interest, not genuine connection. A true friendship involves reciprocity and spontaneous connection. Friends reach out to check in, share news, offer support, or simply spend time together without an ulterior motive. A fake friend, however, sees you as a means to an end. They'll disappear for weeks or months, only to resurface with an urgent request, often prefaced with an overly familiar or apologetic tone designed to soften the blow of their long absence. Once their need is met, they'll vanish again, until the next time they require your assistance. This transactional approach reveals a fundamental lack of respect for your time, energy, and value as a person beyond what you can provide for them. They disregard your boundaries and feelings. Respect is a cornerstone of any healthy relationship, especially friendship. This includes respecting personal boundaries, understanding emotional limits, and valuing each other's feelings. Fake friends consistently fall short in this area. They might push your comfort zone, ignore your no, or make light of your vulnerabilities. They might constantly interrupt you, dismiss your opinions, or make jokes at your expense that cross the line, even after you've expressed discomfort. If you confide in them about a sensitive topic, they might trivialize it or, worse, use it against you in a manipulative way or share it with others. They often lack empathy, failing to grasp the impact of their words or actions on you. This disregard stems from a self-centered perspective where their own desires or amusement take precedence over your well-being. They aren't truly invested in your emotional safety or comfort. They're primarily concerned with their own agenda, even if it means trampling over your boundaries. They are manipulative and guilt-trip you. Perhaps the most insidious trait of a fake friend is their tendency towards manipulation and guilt-tripping. They use emotional tactics to get what they want, twisting situations to make you feel obligated, responsible, or even bad for not complying with their wishes. This can manifest in various ways. Playing the victim: if you don't help me with X, I don't know what I'll do. I thought you were my friend. Passive aggression: expressing disapproval through subtle digs, sighs, or veiled comments that leave you feeling uneasy. Shifting blame: refusing to take responsibility for their own actions and always finding a way to make it your fault. Emotional blackmail: threatening to withdraw their friendship or express disappointment if you don't conform to their demands. Gaslighting: making you doubt your own perceptions or sanity. You're overreacting, that never happened, you're imagining things. This constant emotional pressure creates a toxic dynamic where you feel perpetually obligated and drained. A true friend respects your autonomy and doesn't resort to psychological games to influence you. They communicate openly and honestly, accepting your decisions even if they don't align with their own desires. The manipulative fake friend, however, thrives on controlling the narrative and controlling you, viewing you as a pawn in their own personal game. Recognizing these signs isn't about becoming cynical, it's about becoming discerning. It's about protecting your emotional well-being and investing your precious energy in relationships that are truly reciprocal, supportive, and built on genuine affection and respect. When you spot these behaviors, it's a clear signal to reevaluate the nature of the friendship and consider where your boundaries need to be drawn, for the sake of your own peace and happiness. Understanding the 7 red flags of fake friendship isn't about fostering cynicism, it's about cultivating discernment. In a world where connections are both vital and complex, being able to distinguish between genuine support and manipulative pretense is a crucial life skill. True friendships are powerful, enriching forces that provide emotional sanctuary, honest feedback, unwavering support, and shared joy. They are a wellspring of resilience, boosting our mental health and helping us navigate life's inevitable challenges. By recognizing when a friend consistently demonstrates self-serving behavior, covert competition, backstabbing, discouragement, transactional contact, boundary violations, or manipulative tactics, you empower yourself to protect your emotional energy and self-worth. It's not about cutting off everyone who makes a mistake, after all, no one is perfect, but about identifying consistent patterns that undermine the very essence of what a healthy friendship should be. The liberating power of discerning friendship. Ultimately, this understanding isn't about becoming jaded or suspicious of every new face. Instead, it's a powerful tool for liberation. When you can clearly identify the patterns of fake friendship, you gain the conscious power to choose precisely who you invest your most precious resources in, your time, your energy, and your vulnerability. These aren't commodities to be squandered on those who don't genuinely value them. This newfound discernment frees you from the exhausting cycle of trying to please, impress, or earn the approval of people who are fundamentally incapable of offering true reciprocity. It allows you to gravitate purposefully towards relationships built on the bedrock of mutual respect, genuine empathy, and authentic care. Imagine the relief of no longer walking on eggshells, no longer wondering about hidden agendas, and no longer feeling emotionally drained after an interaction. By consciously releasing the burden of fake friendships, whether through setting firm boundaries, reducing contact, or even gracefully exiting the connection, you aren't just cutting ties, you're creating fertile ground. This vital space allows genuine connections to not just survive, but to truly flourish. Think of it like decluttering your social life. Removing the stagnant, draining elements makes room for vibrant, life-affirming relationships to take root and grow. This leads to a richer, more supportive, and profoundly fulfilling social life, where you feel seen, valued, and genuinely cared for. Your peace of mind and overall well-being are not merely desirable, they are paramount. Recognizing the subtle, sometimes painful, signs of a fake friend isn't a cynical act, it's the first courageous step towards nurturing the authentic, life-enhancing relationships you inherently deserve. It's an investment in yourself, an act of self-preservation that ultimately enriches every facet of your existence. Do you have any experiences you'd like to share where recognizing these signs made a significant difference in your relationships?